Even the man I give and take it one. Yeah, but video what I can go, man. Kwenu we fuka ebe mmiri si eme gini we ba no pio bogle because na onye bụ our defense minister onye bụ defense minister onye ọchịagha o qualify on that position or he entered there by umugo by nwekwa ka o si dị ka drapo n'okwu afa na niile mana aka enwe na wepụrụ n'oge agụga aka mmadụ aka enwe na wepụrụ n'ofe n'oge nwa bezi ihe gola aka mmadụ kịta. Kedu ka defense minister yeji there is no history about him. There is no history about him serving in the military of any kind. Defense minister now na afọ in charge of military personnel in Nigeria after Tinubu being commander in chief. Even Tinubu na as a commander in chief enweghị ọbọ serve military vice yana GFO Grand Commander onwege serve military. Then our defense minister ya bụ na okwusie ike Tinubu ya say defense minister hafa kide kan kasi wede oya nwanye oda menka ọzọ. There is no record of him serving in the military of any kind. Also ya bolo upgraded boy scout civil defense or no hodia. Olo na road safety, olo na road marshal, nkoja road safety, nkoja lo VIO, nkoja lo defense hedia, nkoja amarom moja kwa the NYSC. Amarom, he does not have any military background of any kind. Manoya Waba defense minister, how then can you not expect insecurity kojukale and obodo? There is no any military experience somewhere. Only for the video now. There is no any military experience of any kind. Don't we have na okay with defense minister. Imagosi okay. Uza neka de mapensi wede. Ne isi medugri ne apia nguje si mwebe ebedo twa. This is how to trap these people in the middle. You tactical moves mananka nothing. A only teacher. All his CV. Lecturer. Again we lecturer. Teacher. Or low ebe wano. Bido pontes for politics from there or by which means now most of these people onye kwesịrị bụ chairman of Agboro na park be here we minister of defense in the whole of Nigeria. Then we onye kwesịrị bụ minister of defense in Nigeria. Onye for example kwa nne we onye kwesịrị bụ minister of defense in Nigeria. We bụ n'akụkụ. Senya bụrụ minister of women affairs. So each dey go the whole system gata call ya. Ebe isi kwesịrị dị ka ọdụdụ dị. Ebe aka nne kwesịrị dị ka aka ekpe dị. Ebe aka ekwe kwesịrị dị ka ofu ụkwụ dị. So everything abugo ewepchi nwatara go say he grade. Ohe na media. Biko nene nuku no fon. Ani etimpo na social media like this oka most times. Pay attention ke malebo si ewutage. Ke malebo yesi metotage. Because etelo se aini no Nigeria enyo bona ju ofu anya laru la kita. Ofu anya ka eji laru la kita. I will also encourage nda na agba na account kita kwose na egba. Ka malo mgba ni walu de egbe na mgba ni walu da na account. You ga hi eji we jegulu na account ahụ gba me happy Christmas happy new year na welugudi ya face gotekwu 1 cup of garri idotakwu na yard. Obu 1 cup of garri e matakwu idosa. Kamalan kai na aya nke ga-esi ma ọlụ kịta na-abata nwebe nsele ọlụ na-abata tata for somebody ji mma na moto nsi ya ndozo bụ ntọ na ya anya chọọchị because everybody na-echekwazi onwe ya kịta. Everybody na-echekwa onwe ya. You never can tell. So ebe onye nọ ya mụrụ anya because onye kwesịrị iwe awa defense minister akwalify ewu defense minister owu ha akwalify ewu defense minister Nigeria. So you need to say without definition of Bible, if the Lord does not watch over a city, in vain is the watchman doing. That is the that is the level of and the criminality in Nigeria now so far. Anyway, that's a matter of another day.
Thanks. Now, before we go into who currently owns the office, let's talk about what the Ministry of Defense is and what it requires. Ministry of Defense is the body responsible for national security. It is supposed to supervise the Nigerian armed forces, protecting our borders, overseeing defense policies, military intelligence, coordination of armed operations, procurement of weapons, and advising the president on all matters relating to national security, to the national security of the hundreds of millions of Nigerians across every nook and cranny of this country. Ideally, the Minister of Defense should be someone with very strong experience in military service. Someone with strong experience in military service, in national defense, national security, defense strategy, counterinsurgency operations, intelligence work, or at least expertise in defense administration. Someone who understands troop deployment, someone who understands conflict zones, military logistics, threat assessment, weapon procurement, and the very architecture of national security. Now, let's look at who we actually have as the Minister of Defense. Nigeria's current Minister of Defense is Bello Matawalle. Yes, the former governor of Zamfara State, the person who was the governor between 2019 to 2023. Yes, the same Zamfara that is one of the most terror-plagued states in the northern region. Now, you might be asking yourself, what is his qualifications for being the Minister of Defense, right? His background is that he started off as a teacher in a government girls' college in Morike and one other place in Zamfara State. Then he became a civil servant where he joined the Federal Ministry of Water Resources. And then he gave politics a shot where he ran and won a seat in the National Assembly, and he left the Federal Ministry of Water Resources. That is in 1998, and he has been in politics ever since. He held multiple political positions, including being a House of Reps member at some point before he became the governor of Zamfara State. And somehow, despite not having a single strand of military or defense-related experiences or expertise, not anywhere in his education or career, he is now in charge of national security for the entire country. This is a man who has never served in the armed forces, never officially trained in defense strategy, never managed a military operation, never worked in intelligence, and never handled any form of defense logistics. And yet somehow he is responsible for coordinating security operations against Boko Haram, against bandits, against multiple other terrorist groups and militant groups we have across the country. And here is what is more concerning to me personally. As the governor of Zamfara State, he could not control the insecurity in his state. Under his leadership, Zamfara remained one of the most terrorized states in Nigeria. But somehow, after failing to secure one state, he was put in charge of securing 36 states, including the FCT. And then we have the allegations. During his time as governor, he has been accused by the current governor of Zamfara State, Dauda Lawal, of basically frolicking with bandits. He has been accused of colluding with bandits, keeping bandits in the government house in Zamfara, paying ransom directly to terrorists, and procuring even vehicles for popular notorious bandit kingpins. When we say bandit kingpins, I mean people like Bello Turji. And if you think I was done, I'm not. Right after he left office, the FCC announced a massive investigation into allegations of extensive corruption, fraudulent contract awards, and the misappropriation of funds of over 70 billion naira during his administration. See, when I talk about politicization of insecurity in Nigeria, right, this is one of the very many examples of what I mean by that. When people with no defense experience, people with unresolved controversies, people who could not secure their own states, When these people are placed in charge of the national security of the entire country, it becomes clear that appointments are not based on competence, they're based on politics, on who knows who or who can do what for who in power. It stops being about governance, it stops being about protecting the people, and it starts being about protecting the interests of those in power. Now, whether the allegations are true or not, one thing here remains a fact. Nigeria deserves a Minister of Defense who has